It's cold here in Alaska today, so we've got some Moroccan spiced sardines to hopefully warm things up. So let's get into it. We've got the Flour brand Moroccan spiced sardines. These are a product of Morocco. Ingredients: sardines, olive oil, spices, which are chili pepper, piri piri, bay, clove, peppercorn, carrot, gherkin, and salt. So I did a review on Nuri spiced sardines, and the ingredients in those are very similar to this. Someone in the comment section of that video, which I'll link below, mentioned this sardine saying that it's similar, and this is much more affordable. It's around $17 for 5 cans on Amazon. So I picked up a 5-pack. If this is a Nuri dupe for around $3 a can versus 5 or 6, I'm all over it. So let's see how it compares. Here we are. We've got 3 sardines in there. You know, the skin might not look as good as it did on the Nuris, but these look pretty good. And I gotta say, the smell coming out of this can is amazing. It's really strong with the clove and the peppercorn. I'm picking that up really strong. It's not putting off a fishy smell hardly at all. This is probably the best smelling sardine can that I've had so far. It just smells so good and fragrant and spicy. Oh, I can't wait. But to warm up the mood here, because it's freezing where I'm at, we're gonna eat these on the beach because Santa brought me this cutting board of the beach and I love it. So we're gonna put these right on the beach and just let the waves come. I'm gonna pull all 3 of them out. They feel really tender, just like the Nuris did. A lot of peppercorns in there. We'll pull everything out. I love sardine cans that are like a Cracker Jack box full of little prizes. So we've got our little gherkin, they called it. We got our carrot. We got our pepper. We'll try that. And then we've got the clove here and then some peppercorns down in there. Here's a look at the oil. Looks like a nice spiced oil. Looks like it might be a little bit thinner than the oil that was in the Nuris, but it still looks pretty good. It's not watery. I gotta say, this looks really good. And I can already tell by holding this, the texture is tender like the Nuris were. So I'm gonna go all in on the first bite on this one. So here we go. Wow, that's really close. Whew. As far as the flavor profile goes on this compared to the spiced Nuri, very similar. This is a little more prominent in the clove flavor, but I really like that. The clove is like really coming through. And I will say this has more of a kick to it than the spiced Nuris did. On those, I was kind of wishing it had a little more heat to it. This does. It's still probably in the mild heat category, but it's definitely there, and it is a bit spicier than the spiced Nuris. Man, they're really close. The biggest thing that I'm noticing is the texture on this is just a bit drier. It is still very tender and juicy, but compared to that spiced Nuri, it's not quite as buttery melt in your mouth as that one was, but it's pretty darn close. I mean, compared to a lot of sardines, this one's very juicy and tender. It's just not quite as tender as the Nuris were. So let me break this guy in half, and let's add some of our, this carrot's a bit mushy. Here we go. I don't know, guys, this is pretty close. For me, it's just missing the melt in your mouth texture that the Nuris have. Those just tasted like such a delicacy. This is extremely similar in taste. A little more clove, a little more heat, and a little bit more dry. But when you think about the price of a Nuri, which is usually around $5 or $6, depending on where you get it, compared to this being more around the $3 range where I found it on Amazon. That's a pretty big difference in price, you know, when you're talking buying several cans of something. If you ended up trying that Nuri and liked it, but the price is a little bit much and it's more of just like a once in a while treat, you might take a look at these. Okay, let's try with the carrot. That carrot was nice because it added a little bit more juice to it. Okay, let's take a bite of the pepper. That might be the best pepper that I've had out of a sardine can. A lot of times it doesn't have a whole lot of taste to it, but that was pretty tasty. Not very spicy. And I am going to take a quick sip of the oil. That is good. If you had some warm crusty bread or something, or to fry up some eggs in that, that would be really good. That is good oil. Let's open up this last guy. Take a look-see. All right, let me bring the beach to you. I mean, you can see that meat looks tender. So it is not dry. It is just a little bit drier than the Nuri is. But I would not consider it dry. I think this is an awesome sardine. The flavor is packed in there. The heat for me is just right. I don't find it to be salty. That clove and peppercorn is really coming through, and it's a juicy sardine. Is it a dupe for the Nuri? No, I wouldn't say it's a dupe, but it's pretty darn close. And if you're wanting something similar to that, if you like that, but the price is just a little much, I would definitely pick up some of these and give them a try and see what you think, because I can tell you right now, I'm going to order more of these to have on deck because my Nuris back there, they're just like precious to me. And it's not something I want to eat on a daily basis or very often just because of the price. But if I had more of these, I could eat these more on a regular basis and I would love that. All right, we're going to do a little experiment with Winston. We've got some of the sardine here. And then we've got pork rinds over here. So let's find out which he prefers. Think about it. Okay. Sardine wins. I guess he doesn't want anything to do with the pork rinds today. I know, those were really good, weren't they? We hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.